they have a chyron that goes up on the screen, and it says, Leah and Mike have come to New York to meet with lawyers about the possibility of taking legal action against the Church of Scientology. Again, okay, Mike says, we now have a path forward to be able to take action. I am hoping that is what we'll have at the end of the meeting today. This now is what can be done and how we proceed. Again, precisely what we did 7 years ago. Okay, one of Mike Rinder's sugar daddies retained and paid for a major white shoe law firm in Washington, D.C., flew me out, flew Rinder up to tag along, and tried to pitch the idea of all of the stories of all the people who were in season 1 of the Aftermath, right? They did a complete, of course, it was paid for by his sugar daddy, so they did all sorts of research and got all sorts of associates involved and came back and said, get lost. There's no case. Okay? But he's acting as if this is a brand new idea. They're going to do it again. Okay, so except this time they're going to New York instead of D.C. And A&E consecrates it as a ritual, a Catholic ritual. Because when Mike's done with his whole spiel, Leah says, I think we should go light a candle across the street. It will bring us good luck. And so they make a big show going to their, of all places, St. Patrick's Cathedral, all right? And she's lighting candles and burning incense and, you know, doing this whole thing and saying, now I'm attacking my critics. My critics are Scientologists, okay? First of all, just as an aside, I'd just like to point out another layer of hypocrisy here because, Mike and all them worked with Alex Gibney to bring the Bible of the anti-Scientology movement to the screen, the Going Clear movie. And Gibney and Lawrence Wright, who wrote the book, made a big deal about one of the central purposes of their movie was to shame prominent Scientologists into going after their own church, right? To quote unquote reform it. And here she is in a Catholic church. Okay, Gibney did the previous documentary about the pedophile priest scandal in the Catholic Church, and I just noted, as he was doing the media, running the media circuit, talking about they're going to shame these prominent Scientologists. Where was the shaming on the prominent Catholics for the Catholic scandal? Which, by anybody's account, anybody's rational account, is, orders of magnitude, many orders of magnitude, greater, more widespread, more harmful, more disgusting than anything they've even alleged about Scientology, right? And they talk about cover-up, which he didn't really cover in his documentary about the pedophile scandal, made Scientology look like that the Catholic Church performed, made the Church of Scientology look like Boy Scouts, okay? And so here she is in a Catholic church, performing Catholic rituals, forwarding the agenda to shame Scientologists into going after. It's just, the hypocrisy is just multi-layered. And so after the church ceremony, they go into the black limo, right? The drug dealer limo. And Rinder says to Remini, you're really nervous, huh? And she's acting like, this is the big thing that's going to happen, right? And this whole thing's in a crescendo. They got all this dramatic music and everything else. The season's coming to a crescendo. Chiron on the screen, black screen, white letters. To preserve the confidentiality of communication with the lawyers, Leah and Mike are not able to film their meeting or share its contents, end of quote, right? Then the caddy stops, and they pile out, and they start solemnly walking with their briefcases towards this glittering skyscraper, right? Chiron, to be continued. Okay, so that's the end of season 1, right? So, she says it herself. Talking the talk is one thing, walking the walk is another, right? So now we're going to walk the walk. So they go through the play acting of walking the walk, which is a recreation of something that's already been done and tried 7 and 8 years ago, respectively, to failure. Acting as if it's a brand new thing and has never been done or tried. And so, with full dramatic effect, they run it like an old Hollywood serial to be continued. So we're going to follow through next season. So, I'm waiting to see, what's going to happen next season. And I know the same thing is going to happen. They're going to get the reject card.